So, there's an election coming up, and I know we're all worried about the top of the ticket, but there are other items on the ballot. Here in Ohio, we have Issue 1, and to me, how I should vote on Issue 1 couldn't be any clearer. You see, a yes vote will ban gerrymandering, whereas a no vote will stop gerrymandering. Wait, what? Okay, I have a dumb question. What is Issue 1, and what happens if it passes or fails? As you may have guessed from the signs, Issue 1 is about gerrymandering. A quick 30-second background on what gerrymandering is. While our presidential, senatorial, and gubernatorial elections use a statewide popular vote, we elect our many representatives to the House using voting districts. Each district gets its own representative, which in theory allows the people to hold them accountable for their choices. But periodically, the districts need to be redrawn, and if proper guardrails aren't in place, it can allow the party in power to unfairly extend their advantage. The districts can be creatively redrawn to concentrate or split the opposition, known as packing and cracking. The outcome is usually more representation for the dominant party and unnatural-looking districts. In 1812, Massachusetts Governor Eldridge Gerry signed off on a contorted redistricting map. One of the districts supposedly resembled a mythological salamander, birthing the term gerrymander. If we look at the current voting districts in Ohio, it doesn't seem to pass the eye test. District 15 strikes me as a dragon with a Chad's face. But are the districts unfair? There's a very simple metric to tell. In each election, compare the number of House seats delegated to the popular vote at the top of the ticket. In 2022, Republicans won 10 of the 15 House seats, but J.D. Vance only secured 53% of the popular vote in his race for Senate. Republicans won 2 more seats than the popular vote suggests would be fair. In 2020, it was 3.5 seats. In 2018, it was 4.5. Now this metric is simplistic, but I think it's enough to show the Republicans have been benefiting from gerrymandering to some degree. So we've established that Ohio's districts could be gerrymandered, and both sides claim they want to stop it or ban it or whatever. So, what are the consequences of each side of the issue? A no vote will keep the status quo. Here is the current process. Once a decade after the census, the state legislature gets the first chance to draw the map of congressional districts. They hold a vote by supermajority, and if it passes, the map is enacted for 10 years. But if it fails to pass, the duty of drawing the map is passed to the Redistricting Commission, a committee of politicians made up of the governor, auditor, and secretary of state, who are all independently elected, and 2 appointees from each major party who are not currently serving a congressional term. This commission draws a map, and if at least 2 representatives from each party vote in favor, the map is enacted for 10 years. However, if the commission fails to agree, it finally gets sent back to the state legislature, which can pass a map under a simple majority. Once passed, this map would only be valid for 4 years. In 2021, exactly this happened. However, the Ohio Supreme Court struck it down due to unlawful partisan gerrymandering. Finally, the legislature withdrew the map and successfully passed the current districts, including the Chad Dragon, without pushback from the courts. The map would only be valid for the 2022 and 2024 elections, which means the Ohio government will need to go through the entire process all over again for the 2026 elections. Worse, there's a deeper issue with the process. The Redistricting Commission is solely responsible for drawing the 99-district map of the Ohio legislature. If the commission fails to reach a bipartisan consensus, a map can be passed by a simple majority. From 2021 to 2022, maps passed by the commission under party line votes were struck down by the Ohio Supreme Court 5 times until finally the clock ran out, and the 2022 elections were held using unconstitutionally partisan gerrymandered legislative districts. In my opinion, that's not ideal. So, if a no vote keeps the status quo, what does a yes vote propose? If Issue 1 passes, the responsibility for redrawing both congressional and legislative districts will go to the Citizens Redistricting Commission. The commission will be made up of 15 commissioners, 5 who affiliate with each major party, and 5 independents. To select the commissioners, a bipartisan panel of judges will vet applicants for party affiliation, conflicts of interest, and other requirements. The panel will narrow the applicant pool to a list of 15 per group, and the first 6 commissioners will be randomly selected, 2 from each affiliation. These first 6 commissioners will then elect the remaining 9 commissioners from the vetted list by popular vote. Now that the commission is formed, all actions by the commission, including passing district maps, will require 9 affirmative votes, including at least 2 affirmative votes from each affiliation. If the commission reaches an impasse, each commissioner can submit a plan regarding the impasse, and all commissioners will decide on the preferred plan via a ranked choice vote. The process for redrawing the maps will be open to the public and welcome participation. Commissioners cannot discuss the redistricting process outside of a public forum and must disclose any attempts to influence them. The commission will be required to hold several hearings across the state to gather information from the public about their local interests. When drafts of the map are passed, they will hold those same hearings again for further feedback. Once the maps are finalized and passed, the commission will publish a report explaining how and why decisions were made. They'll provide all data to the public to allow anyone to verify the commission's decisions and explanations. Any voter with concerns over the legality of the districts can file a petition to the Ohio Supreme Court, who then empower pre-screened special masters to review the petition and revise the maps if the court finds the commission abused its discretion. Whew, that's quite a process, but to me it seems well thought out and resistant to gridlock and abuse. I think I'm going to vote yes for issue 1, so let's go to the polls and... what the heck? Yes would create a commission not elected or subject to removal by voters. Repeal protections against gerrymandering. I read the plain text from issue 1, and this is a complete mischaracterization of it. You can read it yourself. How is this description what got put on the ballot? Well, it turns out that Frank LaRose, the Ohio Secretary of State, who sits on the current redistricting commission that issue 1 would abolish, is likely most responsible for the misleading language. There are anecdotal reports of people going to the polls planning to vote yes, then changing their vote in the voting booth after reading the description on the ballot. Obfuscating the issue and tricking voters is the entire strategy behind the no vote, hence the signs. If you think you support the change, don't let them fool you at the last second. Follow through and vote yes. If you're skeptical, I'd encourage you to go and read the full text and make the decision for yourself.